You're listening to Behind the Bulldogs, brought to you by Ferris State Athletics.
Off the left side, to the end zone! Touchdown, Bulldogs!
If I'm even having like a bad day on the course or something, I just look down at it and just feel like thankful that I'm able to be out there.
Making sure that we're like where our feet are and we're not thinking about outside distractions.
Hello, everybody, and welcome into another exciting edition of Behind the Bulldogs. Tatum Outlaw, Brandon Wirt joining you here today. Another great episode. Spring break is now officially in the books. The Bulldogs are back in spring sports, literally right into the thick of it.
Yeah, that was a really long week.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm glad to see everyone back, but it's just crazy. Like the semester's kind of almost over, but like the spring sports are just really getting into the thick of it. It's weird.
It's weird because you only have a couple weeks left, right? And then we have exams, and then really it's into graduation. And some teams are just finishing up their postseasons potential, continuing their postseasons already. But it's been a great year. We've had great support from you guys. We appreciate you. Today, softball joining us on the show. Brooklyn Verbeek, McDonald, two very fine players for Ferris State, and they bring a lot of real spark to this team that's really jump-started themselves over the last couple of years and brought that program back into prominence, and they've won 6 straight games and continuing some hot play.
Yeah, it'll be cool to just hear from them how their season's going and what, the rest of it's going to look like. Looking forward for them.
Absolutely. We'll get to that interview in just a moment, but first we'll recap what happened over spring break, as much of a summary as we got with a great interview that we have. Overall, softball, as we mentioned, doing very well over spring break. 6 wins, 0 losses there in Florida. Really just fantastic play. Offensively, lighting up the scoreboard. Defensively, I thought was really the biggest key, right? Especially a couple of those sweeps, 1 run allowed in each game. And I think especially the defense for this team is what's really going to be underrated. We've seen the pitching improve. The hitting has always been, the aggressiveness at the plate has always been there. But it really feels like the defense this year might be what can take us from a good team into a great team.
I completely agree. And it's really cool to see that the ball's rolling for them. And I mean, 6-0, that's really nice. That looks nice. So hopefully they bring that same energy going into GLIACs.
Absolutely. And with that, obviously, we'll have to get into tennis. They didn't have the same success. They had some great success going into the break, played some really tough teams, ranked nationally teams. They always go down there to compete very well against some good teams. They did that. Results didn't quite show it, right? Facing off against some really, really tough opponents. I think really at the end of the day, it's that experience that brings it back. You load that regular season schedule. You might take the losses, right, in March, but it's what really can propel and have you learn from those experiences going into April and May. That is super key. So obviously, taking on a really good team, St. Mary's from Texas, very, very much ranked teams. So I think that goes to show how good that their schedule is going to be. And they're going to just keep on improving. Coach Doran's team is going to have that team ready going by postseason.
Oh, for sure. And I think playing those difficult nationally ranked teams, like you learn so much from those games, and that'll only help us looking forward. And I think our tennis team as well, like they can hang with anyone, so they're very capable of winning a lot of the matches that they're in.
For sure. And we also had some golf action over this past weekend. They're from the Carolinas. We had Zach and McCoy on not too long ago. They were very excited for the tournament, and you can see why, finishing 7th in a really tough field, as well as the women's finishing 9th in their South Carolina tournament, just one state to the south. So really good performances from Coach Stark's crew. I know he's really fired up with his team. We talked especially to some of the players. They're fired up just to be outside, 1, let alone 2, to be able to compete on the big stage.
Oh, I agree. I think it's so cool too to talk with all the athletes before they go and hear their thoughts, what they're going to do, and then to see them go out and do it. So I'm just really happy for both the teams.
Yeah, there we go. Those seasons are kicking off. And then we also have some unfortunate news to recap with basketball, unfortunately ending this past week in the regional quarterfinal rounds. Women's team battled tooth and nail all 40 minutes against a really good number 5 nationally ranked Ashland team. Might have been 12 on the scoreboard. I was at the game. It was basically 5-6 the entirety of that game. Our team fought the whole way. Unfortunate early end, but for how much resilience this team has shown, skyrocket expectations and potential next year.
Oh, for sure. I mean, that team's been through it this season, as most teams do go through a lot. I mean, it was just watching them and how they dealt with adversity the entire season, and they never stopped working hard. They just kept working harder. So overall, I'm really proud of them.
Nothing really shows a team's character like when they're in the lowest place, right, losing star players, but they keep their head down and their chin up at the same time. I think that really goes to show how good this team was.
Yeah.
Men's did that as well. They had multiple injuries this year. Fortunate 2-point loss to UMSL, who reached the regional final before losing to Lake State. I think it really goes to show this team's got a lot of potential. There was a lot of moving pieces into this year's team, and you could see they were starting to figure it out. There were still some times where the chemistry, could have improved. It's something that you expect when you have a first-year group that is so many different players from different places. But this team showed so much, right? Finishing the top 3 in the conference, right? Being able to show that they can play on the national stage, being a nationally ranked team the majority of the season. Unfortunately, losing to UMSL, really, they were behind the ball really from the opening jump. First couple points going the Tritons' way. They fought back, but it was just once it was that 6-8 point margin that they got out and led early on, we matched it, just not able to catch all the way up in the end.
Right. It honestly stinks in a way because we are in such a tough region.
Yes.
For both men's and women's. So, yeah, that's just how it plays out sometimes, unfortunately.
That's how the cookie crumbles, as they say. Finishing out, we got some exciting things coming up on deck. We'll obviously preview the sports and their respective schedules of games coming up and results. But one important thing, our national champion football team's back in Top Taggart this week. Very exciting stuff. Spring practice is underway. And I know a lot of the fans, right, seeing the breaking of ground over at the new dormitory that will be in the end zone, the north side end zone. Wow. Very cool ceremony. And I know a lot of fans are excited to see that stadium improve, that team to be back on the gridiron, and back to Saturdays in the fall here in Michigan.
Yeah, I can't wait to see how things happen in the fall. Not to jump ahead, but
yeah, that's true.
I could be biased, but I like fall sports a lot.
Biased? So. No, I don't see it.
I like being in season. Sorry.
That's very true, right? Obviously, those that know, Tatum is an outstanding player for this volleyball team coming up, and we can't wait to get to the fall, but we still got the spring to go.
Yeah, and then we also still have to recap what's going on next week.
That is very true. With that in mind, we will send you to the interview with Ella and Brooklyn, and then we'll be back with the Ferris State Sports Slate. Now joining us here in studio, we have a pair of softball standouts here with us, Ella McDonald and Brooklyn Verbeek. Ladies, welcome to the show.
Hi, thanks for having us.
Yeah, thank you.
Absolutely. And it definitely seems like you guys are coming back with great spirits, springing from Florida, a very successful trip on the diamond as well as off the diamond. Just talking about that trip in of itself, as well as playing some good softball down in the Sunshine State.
For sure. It was super fun. It was definitely great to have some good weather. We don't always have that here in the early spring months here in Michigan. So that was super fun. It was pretty successful on the diamond and also super fun off the diamond as well.
Yeah, it was so fun. All of our families came and we just had so much fun off the diamond, playing euchre, going to the beach, just like a lot of fun. And I think that helped us when we got on the field too.
For sure.
You guys have been I feel like world travelers right now.
Yes. Right?
You guys are going to all the warm places, all the cool places. So out of all of the places you've played, which is your favorite field to be on?
Ooh.
That's pretty tough. I mean, Hawaii was just a fun environment, but it was definitely not my favorite field. As an infielder, I'm very biased to turf field.
Sure.
So, for our conference tournament every year, we play on the Athletes Unlimited field in Chicago.
Ooh.
And it's a stadium and it's a really cool environment. There's a whole bunch of professional pictures all up underneath the stadium. So I think that's definitely my favorite place to play, but I also love playing at home too.
Yeah,
so.
Of course.
Yeah, I would say Florida for me. Florida has the best complex, all
it's
turf.
Beautiful.
Great cages, great facilities. So that's always a lot of fun to play on.
Really nice field there.
For sure. When it comes to the golden question, you probably guys have been asked this hundreds and hundreds of times. Grass or turf, and why?
I mean, as an infielder, like I said, I'm definitely biased on the turf. It's just a little bit more predictable. But I mean, Ella's an outfielder, so what do you got?
I would probably say turf as well. The hops are more predictable in the outfield, a lot easier to run, don't get caught in the mud or anything like that. So I like both though. I would probably say turf though.
Yeah.
What did the girls say last time?
I think some of them said more of the turf, getting used to the turf.
Yeah.
So maybe it's just turf with you know where the bounce is.
Yeah.
Every time grass, you have no idea. There might be anthills trying to, fort things up.
Right.
And you just have no idea. Yeah.
Especially on our field. Our field has some pretty unpredictable grass.
For sure.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. It's like it never grows straight.
No.
Never. But, that's just how grass works, I guess. Maybe there's a science lesson behind that. I don't know.
I wouldn't know.
Yeah, me either.
You guys have been traveling a lot. You mentioned euchre. What else do you guys like to do when you travel, whether it's on the bus, the plane, hotel, wherever? What do you like to do to pass the time?
We definitely play a lot of cards for sure.
Yep.
In Florida and in Hawaii, we got to spend time on the beach together. Some girls in the morning will do like Bible study or devotions together before the games. Cool. Yeah, to just kind of like calm and meditate before we go play. So, but we definitely like to play a lot of games, TVs, movies, kind of pass the time that way. We put a movie on the bus the other day, last time we were traveling, so that was fun.
You guys actually all sit and watch it?
Well, we kind of did, but we tried. We put it on. We figured out how to work it when you start. So.
Yeah, at least until you fall asleep, right?
Right.
Yeah, for sure. Ella, how about you?
I think music's a big thing for our team.
Mm-hmm.
We love listening to music when we're getting ready in the locker room.
I've heard your guys' playlist before.
Yeah.
It's a pretty
It's
good
been going around.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, but even on the bus, before games, I think that just hypes everyone up, and we love listening to it. So.
Right. Yeah, we try not to, one of our team rules is like to not be on the phone when we're like getting close to the fields or to the game. So we like to listen to music all together. Kind of just brings us together and gets us like centered before we play.
Totally.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
For sure. Speaking of music, the golden question, we haven't played a home game yet, but if you want to spoil it, what's going to be the walk-up for 2025?
My walk-up song is Buzzin' by Man.
Okay.
So, yeah, a little something this year, but we'll see.
Okay. All right. Ella?
Mine is White Horse by Chris Stapleton.
Ooh, okay. All right. Both very, very good
Switching it up.
Yeah. Is there something that has to come into play when it comes to picking the walk-up song? Is there something that you're looking for? Or is it just, whatever jazzes you to the nines, as they say?
Just, it's got to have a good beat drop, I feel, get you moving a little bit. I mean, it really only plays for like 15 seconds. So it's got to have like a good start.
Do you ever get sick of it or no?
Sometimes it'd be nice to have a change because we have so many games, right? Like, I'm like, man, sometimes I wish I could change it up, but
and you have like 6-7 at bats a weekend.
Yeah.
So you're hearing it over and over.
The same thing over and over again. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I get that. Looking forward to the rest of the season. What's the mindset like? What are some goals that you guys have and how do you plan on achieving those?
Our mindset has kind of like shifted from like preseason to now like focused on GLIAC games.
Right.
Our mindset the whole season has just been to kind of like play Bulldog softball and string together quality at bats and pass the bat. We've kind of talked about how we can't all be a hero, and softball is a team game, and it's really important to go up there and do your job so that the next person can do theirs. So we just kind of have focused on that and kind of coming together as a team. So that's definitely our goal heading into conference play, is how well we can play together.
Cool.
Yeah, I think it's just like leaning on each other and not thinking you have to do it all on your own. I think in Florida, we really realized that every single girl on our team plays a role. And if he takes someone off the bench, they're going to do something for us. So I think it's just leaning on each other and trusting each other, knowing that if he takes someone off the bench, then like trust them to do their job.
Yeah.
And I think that helped us a lot in Florida.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Absolutely. 2-part question here. We'll start with you, Brooklyn, right? Been very experienced in a Bulldog uniform, spent many years here in Big Rapids. Now you're being able to really, tutor a lot of the young players, one of them sitting right to your left, right? What has that been like, especially for you, and being able to see this program starting to grow and the wins coming together?
Yeah, it's great. I think our culture here has really taken off from the Bulldog softball standpoint. It's been really awesome to get to pour into younger players as I was poured into myself as a younger Bulldog. So I think it's really a cool experience. And not only do you see it on the field, kind of mentoring girls and like on the field, but you also see it off the field as well. Talking about school and life and just being able to be there and support them both ways is super meaningful to me, and I'm sure it's meaningful to them too. But it's also, it goes both ways. Although I'm an older athlete here, there's still definitely things that I can learn from my younger friends too. So
Well, and I feel like your team has gone through a lot of changes within the last couple
100%,
years,
yeah.
like new coach. You guys had like 1 million freshmen coming in a couple
for sure.
years ago.
Yeah, for sure.
And I feel like it was a little bit of a rebuilding, and that takes a lot of effort to build that team culture and be a mentor. So how do you go about like making those strong team and friend relationships with all the younger girls?
Yeah, I think it's just important to get to know them. Like, especially coming in this year, you're like, wow, there's so many new girls. And sometimes that can be hard and it can be scary, but everybody, like Ella says, brings something different. And we've kind of each settled into our own role, which has been really great. Building the relationships, I really just think takes a priority in just getting to know who they are and how they function. And I think for me, it really matters off the field before on the field. So you get to know how they respond to things, what they're interested in, and just what they like so you can grow a relationship with them.
For sure.
Yeah, I think for one, Brooklyn is our best leader. She's off the field, on the field. We have very strong upperclassmen that lead us. Maddie, J. Joe, like they all lead our team. And I think that a lot of the younger girls as well have stepped up, and I think everybody plays an equal role in keeping the team chemistry and keeping it fun, but also competitive. So, yeah, I think we have great leaders on our team.
For sure. Ella, we'll start with you this time. When it comes to the resilience of softball, right? It's a game of being able to score, being able to defend, but the mentality of the game is where a lot of teams go from great teams to elite teams and championship teams. What is it for you, especially, going up to the plate, going into the field, that mentally your mindset is in the game of softball, where one error could be one run and ultimately the choice of what the outcome of the game might be?
Yeah, I think it's just trusting yourself and trusting your teammates. But at the same time, also just trying to have fun. Like you've been playing the sport since you were little. It's the same sport. The sport doesn't change. So I think just trying to keep the fun in it and not putting so much pressure on yourself. Like for me, I put a lot of pressure on myself as an athlete. So just trying to have fun and focusing on positive instead of the negative. But
yeah, that was well said. Softball is a game of failure, and it's going to happen very often.
Sure.
But it's important that you're there for your teammates and that they're there for you as well. And I think that in Florida, especially, we kind of came on the field. We had no idea who we were going to play. Yeah. And we kind of came on with this like calm, confident, like swagger to us. And I think that was really important. And I think that will carry into GLIAC too, even though we know the teams that we're playing against, just having that type of mentality that it's just like calm and confident, cool and collective despite everything that's going on, because if you let that one error kind of spiral, it really is like one's going to lead to two, and then next time you're down by 4 runs. So I think just having that like collectiveness to us will definitely help.
Yeah, totally. Shifting gears just a little bit, what are you guys studying and why?
I am studying early childhood education, and I have a concentration in child life and in birth through kindergarten. And I'm studying it because I'm super passionate about helping young kids. So
very cool. Ella, how about you?
I'm studying psychology. I'm hoping to be a school counselor or a child psychologist. Same thing with Brooklyn. I am very passionate about kids, love kids. So I'm hoping to help kids one day.
For sure.
Yeah.
Very cool. And both of you inspiring to help kids, right? The future generation. What is it especially about helping those kids that drives you to that career?
For me, helping kids both in the classroom and potentially in the hospital is appealing to me, just because it's an environment that might be scary for some people, especially the hospital environment, not necessarily knowing what procedures or things are going to look like. So just making kids feel more comfortable and confident in their abilities and just understanding things in a developmentally appropriate like language is something that's super important to me, and is why that's what brought me here. So yeah.
Awesome. Ella, how about you?
I think it's just like putting myself in their shoes when I was a kid. Struggled with confidence for a while, and I want to help kids grow confidence in themselves in school, in sports, just all around help them try and be more confident. And I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah, you're good at that.
Well said.
Could you see yourselves coaching at all? I mean, it's kind of
for sure.
Yeah. in a
If I
way.
work in a hospital, it would be a little bit tough with the schedules. But if I work in a classroom, I will 100% see myself coaching. And I think that'd be super fun to kind of build the next generation for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm hoping if I become a school counselor, I'll have that
Schedule.
summer off, easy schedule. So
The
I can
schedule is
coach.
nice for
Yeah.
teaching. So in the school, for sure.
For sure, yeah. Coach Schumann's ears just perked up. Saying,
Yeah,
"Ooh, maybe, just maybe.
Yeah, right.
For sure. Fun question before we get to the final question.
Okay.
Bases loaded, right? Bottom of the 7th, what every player dreams of, 2 outs. Would you rather be the player that hits the walk-off grand slam or a game-saving web gem diving catch?
I'm definitely a diving catch.
Okay.
Yeah, although the hitting would be fun, my strong suit, like my role on this Bulldog team is to be a steady and solid defender. So for me, that's what I would say, just because I know that's my role on this team, although a walk-off hit would definitely be fun.
For sure. Ella, it's the same or no?
Yeah, I think it's the same with me. I got recruited here for my defense for outfield, so I love making diving catches in the outfield. It just like makes me so happy.
Yeah.
So
Especially with bases loaded. I mean,
Yeah.
you just save the game,
Right.
which is great. Defense wins championships for sure.
Ah, yes.
Absolutely.
Being the one to have the hit too would be pretty sweet. For
yeah.
sure.
For sure. Tatum would probably, you'd choose the walk-off home run, wouldn't you?
I mean, I am a hitter. So
Yeah,
There you go.
I mean,
right.
I'm a hitter because I like to score points.
Right.
But I do feel like it does feel really nice to like stop someone else from scoring.
Right.
Like when you get like a crazy
Right.
save.
Yes.
But like that doesn't
That's
really
big.
win the game. But I will
Right.
say like I think it feels better than getting killed, like getting like a block kill, like where
Right.
you just stuff block someone, like
Such a good
straight to the
feeling.
ground, no one touches it. I feel
Yeah.
like
You're on top of the
so,
world.
I
Yeah.
feel like
Yeah.
a bad, you know,
Right.
I'm like, yeah, you can't get past
Yeah,
me.
right.
So I get like the defense thing
Right.
also.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, for sure. Last question, ladies. Thank you for stopping by. I know we had practice schedules
No,
changed
you're
for you guys.
good. Yeah.
But last question, as always, like to ask everybody on the show, what's your favorite thing about being here at Ferris State and being a Bulldog?
There's a lot of things I love about being a Bulldog. It's really a loaded question. But I think the biggest thing is just the culture, not only in Bulldog athletics, but also in the classroom. I have created really great relationships with all of my professors and my teammates and also people on other teams as well. So it just has created a culture of success and positivity that is just really awesome to be a part of.
Yeah, I would just say like the support from everybody.
Yeah.
I don't think many schools have this much support from other teams.
Mm-hmm.
Like all the teams just want to see success in each other. Same with our coaches, Coach Haynes and Dom, our athletic trainers. Like they all just want to see success and they support us in every way they can. So
For sure.
I love that.
Yeah.
For sure. That's a very common answer so
Yeah.
far. Well, ladies, thank you so much for joining us on the show and good luck. Keep the train rolling this weekend.
Thanks
Thank
for having
you.
us.
Big thanks to Brooklyn and Ella for joining us here on the show. Great interview, great guests as always. And I love to hear the mentality side as a former baseball player myself, the frustrations of going through slumps, going through games that, you know, you have a control on, but you really don't. It's great to see how uplifting that culture has really become with that group. And now that it's really showing with a lot of these wins piling up.
Yeah, I'm just really excited to see how the rest of their season goes. I think both those girls, they're strong competitors. I mean, you can just tell by hearing them speak and also knowing how much like the culture and the relationships do matter to them. I'm just really excited to see their season grow and see how they do.
Yeah, this team wants to win. They want
They're
to win.
hungry.
They really are, and it's really exciting to see. Speaking of which, they will be in action on Saturday and Sunday. They will be playing Saginaw Valley at their place on Saturday, and then they'll be playing Wayne State on Sunday. So good luck, good travels. We wish you the best of luck for our Bulldog softball team. And also on Friday, we got tennis here in the B-Rap. Men's, women's taking on the Lakers of Lake State, not Grand Valley, but that will come. But they will be in action here at the Racket Complex on Friday.
Go support them.
Yeah, it's not like there's any other winter sports going on anymore, unfortunately.
I know. Yeah, so go support some tennis, and then whenever softball is back.
Yes, for sure.
Softball games are fun, so.
Softball games are fun. I did just check the first pitch on Saturday is 1 and 3 in the doubleheader. Sunday is noon and 2. So even if you can't make it and still want to support, make sure to go to ferrisstatebulldogs.com for more information. But Tatum, that's going to conclude our first episode from spring break. Took a little while to get back into it, but we're getting back into the thing of it. Full steam ahead the rest of the way.
Yeah, it's weird. It's a short outro. It's really weird.
Absolutely. With that, we will see you guys next week here on Behind the Bulldogs.